Hello, my dear ones. Again, it's Mary Rosette, and it's part 2 about grief when we leave narcissistic and abusive people. It's in 2 parts because when I do a very important video that is very needed for my clients and for collectives. When I say collectives, it's a whole planetary energy. Videos gets disconnected. If you're spiritual, you probably know what I mean. It's negative energies that want to interfere. Okay, if you're not spiritual, never mind. So it's second part. In first part, I told you when you left narcissistic people, abusive people, and if you're feeling grief, it's totally fine. They're very close family members, our partners, and very close friends of ours. And not to suppress your feelings, okay? And another thing that's very important, never call back and do not return to your abuser or narcissist, because first thing you will hear, see, you cannot live without me. This is what they're gonna say. And even if they take you back, they will abuse you even more, and because they want to take their revenge. So not to return to them. So you may say, like, how am I going to deal with it? I already told you about doing meditations or prayers and seeking a professional help. Another thing you can do, you can move on. You have to talk to yourself, okay? If you're spiritual, do it during meditation. Talk to your inner child. I did 2 videos how to heal your inner child. You can talk to your inner child, especially if those abusers were your parents or siblings, very close people to us, or your partner. Talk to yourself. Close your eyes and talk to yourself that things happen. You cannot return to abusers, because abusers will abuse you again. As I said in my first part of video, please watch it. It's very important first part. I explained a lot to you about abusers, narcissists, and about grief. Talk to yourself and explain to yourself that things may pass. This shall pass as well. And do things that you love to do. It's different than suppressing your feelings and ignoring. When we do things that we love to do, for example, I remember today when I was going through a grief that I really love listening to classical music and opera, something I haven't done for a long time. And when I listened, my grief gradually started to leave me. So this is not suppressing and ignoring your feeling. This is a part where your subconscious mind, conscious mind, your inner child, and yourself as human will be healed. So you have to do something you love. If you love to do crafting, do crafting, okay? How is it different from ignoring? I will tell you. Ignoring can be, you suppress the feeling. You will say, I don't want to feel this feeling, and you go out and party with your friends. This is also something that might help, but it's not really healing, okay? Healing is something on a deeper level. On deeper level, nightclubs, striptease clubs, sorry, it's 2 a.m. and I always do my videos very late, but at least I'm trying my best. I work long hours. If you watch my other videos, you can say I'm very busy, and I'm trying my best to do these videos. And compared to nightclubs, striptease clubs, or heavily drinking, doing something that will heal your subconscious mind, that will heal your conscious mind, your nervous system, your soul, if you believe on having a soul, if you're spiritual, or healing your inner child. It's quite different, because when you drink and you suppressing your emotions, and that you did not get any healing, it just temporarily gave you a relief, and it will come back to you again, and maybe in a stronger version. When you suppress a feeling, it will come back to you 10 or 100 or million times stronger. That's why feelings like grief, anger, hatred, these kind of feelings are not supposed to be suppressed. They need to be healed, or they will hunt you down until you leave this world. Grief, I said, is when you left someone, is equivalent as that person passed away. That's why it's one of the strongest negative feelings that human can have. One of strongest ones. Is equivalent to severe fear. It's equivalent to a severe anger. So you have to heal. That's why crafts, songs that you love, or if you love to dance, dancing drunk or high on drugs in nightclubs, unfortunately, is not going to heal you, okay? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm a human being. I also party. I also go to nightclubs and enjoy my life, but I don't do it to suppress my feelings. I do it to have fun with my friends. It's different one. When you're going through a strong grief, okay, there are many strong negative feelings, but today we're talking about grief. After you left your abuser, someone who was close to you, a narcissist, a toxic person, someone as close as a family member, direct family member or partner or best friend, that you were friends for many years. So heal it. If you don't heal it, it will keep coming back. Okay? And if you made a lot of healings, if you went through therapists, and again, if you feel these feelings of grief, you might say, where did all my hard work go? I did so much meditation, prayers, I saw so many therapists, life coaches, I read so many self-help books, I did a lot of techniques and practices. It doesn't go away overnight, especially if abuser was your parent or especially mother. For some reason, with fathers, people get healed a little bit easier, a little bit faster than with their mother, because I guess in society it's a lot of people are attached to their mothers, and because we spend a lot of time with our mothers, right? They give birth to us, they feed us. So I'm not saying fathers don't do anything, but it's mother who, until you at least the age of 2, 3, or 4, we spend a lot of time with them, so we can have a strong bond and energetic attachment and very strong feelings. So that's why very, very hardest part is healing with mothers, an abusive mother that you had to leave, unfortunately. Don't feel guilty. I have video on that one as well, okay? And it's very important you watch that video, because when we feel guilty that we left, and when we feel grief that we left an abuser, we started to feel guilty. Oh my God, how did I leave my own mom or my own sibling or my best friend or partner that we had 3 kids together, we lived for 20 years, 30, 40, maybe 50 years. Don't feel guilty. On top of your grief, you don't want to add another negative, strong feeling. So watch that video so you don't feel guilty, because narcissists don't care if someone left them. They only care, as I've said in the first part of this video about grief, their ego is hurt, and if you return to them, they will just try to get their revenge and even treat you even worse, because they may say, hey, one time he or she came back to me, my victim came back to me, so they will keep coming back, so now I can treat them even worse. Okay? So this is my advice to you. Try to heal, and it's okay to sit with your feeling of grief and feel it. Today I sat with it, I felt it, and I cried. And few of them already passed away from old age, and they were my family members. They were narcissistic abuser. One of them was severely physically narcissistic abuser. That person passed away at young age. See, sometimes karma just finds them. Even that person is in another country. Actually, I immigrated. I had to immigrate to another country, to another continent, to run away from some of dangerous, physically dangerous narcissists. So you probably can see how much grief I went through for many years. I immigrated a long time ago. I've been living in this country for many years. I was almost, in my early teenage years. So, well, I'm very young now, but it feels like it's many years. So don't worry. Sometimes, we have to, narcissists can be so dangerous that you have to run away from your own country. And I was one of that person. So if you think like you regret that you left a narcissist, don't, sorry, my crown is falling off. In my first part of my video, I said already that I recently recovered from severe type of COVID and lost 10 pounds. Now everything on me is big. I have to resize a lot of my clothes now, and even my jewelries, my bracelets are falling off my hand. Don't feel bad, because if you don't leave narcissists on time, as years go by, when they see that victim is just tolerating them and not doing anything, the abuse level will be worse and worse. Don't get to that point where they will be physically abusive, and you have to run away to another country. Well, I did not have a choice. I was a child, right? So sometimes we don't have a choice. Don't beat up yourself if you didn't leave them on time. Maybe you're not watching this video coincidentally. Maybe now you have to sit down. You have to see who is narcissist, who is not in your life, and you have to start dealing with them, okay? And I did really tolerated many narcissists for many years. I didn't even know this term to begin with when I was a child, when I was teenager, and it came to me later. And I became professional on this. I went to an institute and I studied to be a life coach, and I'm helping many people who are dealing with abusers, with narcissists, and other type of toxic people. There are many types of them, but narcissists are the most common ones, okay? And narcissists are seeing that society is discovering them more and more and peeling off their masks. And in some of the videos I watch about narcissists, they leave very negative comments like, people are nuts. Everywhere you see, it's a video about narcissists and toxic people. I can read people's energy, which means I'm psychic, and I saw that they're narcissists themselves. So when you see that there is a negative comment, about a video, how to heal from narcissists or how to deal with them. It's narcissist himself or herself, because now they're getting really pissed that society, first of all, healthcare system, Ministry of Health, they in one by one in all the countries, they are officially calling them mentally ill people. So they're pissed about that. Another thing that so many videos and so many therapists, so many life coaches, psychiatrists, so many psychologists, and other type of professionals and advisors and counselors, they're teaching people how to deal with narcissists. They're telling characteristics and behaviors or narcissists. So the mask is completely getting revealed. That's why they are so pissed. So it's many of them. It can be anyone. Remember this. It can be your colleagues, your neighbors, your parents, your siblings. So I had to deal with many of them. From blocking the phone number, I had to run away to another country. I had to immigrate. Okay? So narcissists can be very different. It's okay to feel grief, because those narcissists never choose another narcissist to abuse. Imagine two devils are meeting and they will bite each other's head off. So narcissist usually picks a very kind-hearted person as a victim, so they can torture them as much as they can, either energetically, emotionally, or physically, or all three of the above. So feeling grief is normal. It may come back in few months, in few years. Why you're feeling grief so strongly? I'm reading in many pages in social media, and people are DMing me a lot that they're feeling grief now, even though they left a narcissistic family or friend 20 years ago. So why it happened? Because we all were locked due to COVID since 2020, and even until now in many countries we're all working from home, even though it's gradually ending, and employers are asking gradually everyone to return to offices, including mine. Now we have to go a few times a week to the office. Not every day we can work from home, but when you work from home there is less distraction, and we had time, all humanity had time to entirely go through whole their life. They had time to think. There was no distraction. When we go to work, we talk to our colleagues. Maybe we talk to our customers, vendors, our bosses. A lot of meetings we have. And to be honest, before COVID, I was closer with my work friends than I was close with my personal friends. That much distraction we got. It's a good one. I'm glad if you're good in good relationship with your colleagues, it's good. But those so much interactions with different people, which is necessary, right? We have to go to meetings in our workplaces. We have to talk to our bosses. We have to talk to our customers. We have to talk to any colleagues that we have to talk in any departments. But these are all distractions. When we sit at home by ourselves, or even if there are family members, most people kept a separate room for their workplace, right? So it's just you and your thoughts. Even if you're working, you have lunch, you have break, a lot of things from past comes to your mind. That's why so many people remembered everything about their life, and grief is just not one of them that came to their subconscious mind, to their conscious mind. Is just one of them. I will talk about resentment and other feelings, but I don't want to confuse you now. Right now, entire humanity is going through grief for the people they lost, for the people they left because they were abuser, those people that they left. They're going through a grief because of the people who lost. Like in last 3 years, 3 people passed away from my family. All of them were close to me. One of them is a person who raised me. So me and my siblings were mostly raised by our grandparents. Happened to be that way. I'm writing a book. Many people are leaving me a comment or messaging me in Instagram. Actually, you can join my Instagram if you want to interact with me more. Instagram link is below. And yes, since 2020, a lot of people passed away, and most of them from COVID. And it's just grief, loneliness, okay, sadness, not just because, as I said, for last 3 years that we were isolated, or first 2 years whole world was in lockdown. It's just analyzation and remembering of our entire life, even if we're young. Like I'm young too, right? But I had to went through a lot. Imagine growing up with among so many narcissists and abusers, running away to another country to save your life. It's a lot, right? Even if you're young. So you can be 10 years old and you maybe went through so much the hardships in life that people in the 80 years did not go through. That's why do not judge people by their age, even if they're 20, 30 years old. Maybe they went through so much hardships that people in the entire 80 years of life did not go through. Okay? Take care of yourself, love yourself. Loving yourself and self-care has to be priority. And I have video on that one as well. Please watch that video as well. It's very important. Well, if you want, I'm not forcing anyone to watch these videos. I'm not making any money because you're watching my videos. I'm not those YouTubers with millions of followers. I'm actually writing a book because from my studies, from my life experience, I disclose so much about narcissists, so much of their fake masks, so much of their underground and hidden behaviors that actually a lot of customers said, hey Mary, why don't you write a book? Actually, I'm writing a book now. It's gonna be a big book because it's so much to reveal about those abusers you would not imagine. It's a whole scheme they have. It's a whole scheme they have that many people don't know about, and they have to know, because the less abusers and the less narcissists we have in our circle, in our society, in our country, the happier, the healthier, and better quality of life we will have, okay? And we will not be sitting and crying with the grief because we left a crappy narcissist. And this is not it. My book will be turned into a movie, because not everybody these days like to read books, right? They like to watch short videos on TikTok for 1 minute, or a very short post, like 3 sentences. Going through for many years with abuse and going through so many illnesses, so many hardships because of narcissists, 1 minute video or 3 sentences on social media is not gonna heal you, okay? It says person who has to go a lot of shit due to narcissists, And because a lot of people are watching a movie, and that's why the book will be converted into a movie. So people will learn a lot, hopefully, from that movie. It's not going to be a horror movie, but it will be very eye-opening movie, even though it will be emotional. But humanity, hopefully, it will go rival. A lot of people will watch it, but movies is the one thing after short 1 minute videos and 3 sentence posts on social media. Movies is the one thing that can be widespread and can teach a lot of knowledge to humanity. When we watch a video, when we read a post, especially if we watch a movie, information will go to our subconscious mind. One day, when entire humanity can see a fake mask of narcissist, no one will tolerate any narcissist or abuser. And when the game is over, that's it. They're fact. There will be no more narcissists in our society. Obviously, it's gonna take time to come to this kind of society where there will be no narcissists, no abusers. But hey, we're getting there, right? Right now, life is much more better, and our eyes open much more than it was 3 centuries ago, right? And the more knowledge we have, the more we know about our society and the people and abusers that we have in our society, the less of them will be. Because, as I said, if the game is revealed, the game will be over. I hope my videos help, and again, this is a second part of grief about leaving abusers and narcissists. If you want to heal more, and if you are really going through a deep grief, you have to watch the first part as well to understand everything, okay? And I believe in you. If this video helped you, please hit like, share it with anyone who is going through a grief because they left their abusers, okay? Subscribe, and a link for donation is below. It's not mandatory. Donate only if you feel like it. And if you want to interact with me more and to get more contents from me, there is link below for my Instagram page as well. I wish you well, I wish you happiness, and I wish you so you have circle of loving people who love you, respect you, and your circle is free of all abusers, of all toxic people, and of all narcissists. I'm Mary Rosette. I love you a lot, and all will be well. See you in my next video.